So the first piece the Chamber Orchestra is going to perform for you tonight is the second movement of Telemann's Viola Concerto. Oftentimes, the viola might get overlooked, but it's really the instrument that holds everything together. It's the glue, but often the forgotten middle instrument, if you will, living between the staves. And so I thought, let's go ahead and let them have a feature number. And so Telemann is just a wonderful piece for violas. And so now we'll perform the second movement from Telemann's Viola Concerto. This next piece is by contemporary American composer Eric Whitaker. Truly just an amazing composer based out of, I believe, Reno. Writes equally well for vocal ensemble, orchestra, band. Worth it tonight to go home and find some of his works because they're just amazing. This piece we're performing tonight, called October, uses a lot of different harmonic structures, and it doesn't always go where you think it's going to go, and it makes it extremely difficult for the performer because it's not something they're used to playing. This piece is filled with what we call parallel fourth writing and and chordal harmony. So just what does that sound like? Because it is not heard and all the time, we're going to play that for you right now. So here's an example of some chordal writing or parallel fourths. So you'll hear that in our piece tonight. And then Whitaker uses a melodic motive that he weaves in and out, sometimes on top of one another, but it's this three-note motive, and we're going to have the orchestra play that for you now so you know what to be listening for. You'll hear that woven in and out in different keys throughout this piece. And as with the concert orchestra, I had the students just write down what this piece is saying to them. What's the imagery or what's the story that's being told? And I'm going to share one of them with you. I feel that the emotions in October are those of letting go and moving on, perhaps from the nice summer weather to cooler winds, or maybe it's something bigger. It's about changing as you move through the piece and your life and being okay with that change, accepting that not every note sounds good when played in a dissonant chord, and that's okay. This relates to not having everything go your way all the time. It's about going through some kind of change in your life and accepting that. And I think that really speaks a lot to this piece, and you're going to hear some of that struggle and then some of the rejoicing of having made it through that. So now I'll perform Eric Whitaker's October. The next piece is listed in the program is Ludlow's theme from Legends of the Fall. And if you've seen the movie, kind of set in Montana and that kind of big sky country, open expanse. And for whatever reason, this piece says fall to me. And so we'll play it tonight. It features a couple soloists, Anita Anangdet and Anais Corona, as well as Hannah Wendorf on piano. We'll now perform Legends of the Fall. Ludlow's from Legends of the Fall. The last piece Chamber Orchestra is going to play tonight is Waltz from Jazz Suite Number 2 by Shostakovich. Shostakovich, as you may or may not know, a Russian composer who at times was both in and out of favor with the political party of the Soviet Union. He reluctantly joined the Communist Party, mainly so he could keep writing his music, but it is through his music that he often inserted jokes in his political view through his writing. His waltz is a very carnival-like piece, in that it's both eerie and a bit playful. Through the course of this musical journey that we've been on with the concert orchestra and the chamber orchestra through the fall, we've talked about just the different emotions. You heard it in the Ghost Carnival, and with the chamber orchestra, we start our Mondays with a musical quote and end our week with a musical quote. And I'm just going to share with you one that we had a few weeks ago. Just because music has a way of conveying feelings and emotions unlike anything else, and this group has really put all of that into these pieces. One of our Monday quotes was, "Music washes away from the soul the dust of everyday life." And we've got the opportunity every morning to get together and just make music and wash away that dust and just be together. And so it's a fantastic thing working with all these students. I do want to point out one thing about the waltz. This piece requires our cellists to play in different clefs. Normally they just do their thing in the bass clef, and that's great. And this piece asks them to play in not one additional clef, but 2 additional clefs. They're playing in what's called tenor clef, as well as playing in treble clef, the same clef that the violins play in. And we passed this out, and there was a bit of, "You're asking me to do what?" And they have totally met that challenge. And you won't necessarily see anything different, but they're reading in 3 different clefs. We'll now perform Shostakovich's Waltz.